I want to talk to you about how to refresh old content this year. How do you do it strategically and how do you do it properly? Okay. And so here are the facts I want you to really think about. The thing is that if you are a content marketer, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, at some point you do not want to keep creating the same content over and over and over. You want to maybe refresh content that you have created before, right? So every content marketer knows that new content helps your site generate more traffic and diversify its rankings, that's for sure. But a lot of us do not do a good job at regularly refreshing what we already have on our sites, okay? And that's really unfortunate because refreshing your existing content means relying on your existing data and tapping into your page acquired link equity. So why should you refresh old content in the first place? Well, the thing is that better rankings and organic traffic. So as you keep adding new content to your blog, the old content moves down the archive. This means less link equity flowing into those pages, which consequently results in declining rankings actually. So refreshing content and especially republishing it to a new date moves it back to the top of the archives, closer to the homepage, which is normally the most linked part of the site. So this improves what? This improves rankings, for instance, and doing it regularly, you can avoid organic traffic losses. That's why instead of trying to always add a lot of content, a lot of new content, make content updates actually part of your editorial calendar. Actually, sorry about that. So first of all, you have better rankings and organic traffic. You also have more diverse rankings. So often the one of the occasionally missed benefits of going back to your old content is actually the ability to rely on your existing data. So you can see the keywords that are generating traffic for a page on Google Search Console, for example, and you can spot keywords that might have been bringing in clicks if you had covered them more in your content. So refreshing old content can therefore help you diversify rankings by expanding your content to include those keywords that were underperforming but had potential for growth actually. You also have a better user experience. So older content often has broken links and outdated data, which results in poor user experience and often misinformation. So this also results in a higher bounce rate and fewer on-page engagements. So keeping your content refresh means making the most of this clicks and not losing subscribers. You also have a better information and promotion. So digital marketing is constantly evolving, making way for new marketing channels and also tools. So this is really important. So what are the steps here when you think about refreshing old content? So how do you first identify content that requires refreshing? So one thing you want to do is you want to identify pages losing traffic. So the easiest tool to find pages that start losing clicks is Google Search Console. Okay, so that's important because that gives you a clear idea about what's really happening. And so you want after you go to a Google Search Console, you can export the whole report or copy paste this URLs into a spreadsheet as you see them. The only advantage of the tool is that it only stores 16 months worth of data, so you won't find content that lost rankings 2 or more years ago. You can also have the same data in Google Analytics 4 or also Google Analytics Universal. So that's important. That's number one. Number one, you want to identify pages losing traffic. Number two, you want to actually find old pages with ranking potential. Not all rankings bring traffic, obviously. So if your content ranks 8 to 10 or lower, you will barely see any clicks, that's for sure. But if it's old content ranking, there is an opportunity. You can improve its positions by updating and interlinking the page actually. You also want to refresh your content when competitors do. So unless you have a huge site, you are likely focusing on a few keywords that are especially important to your site's income, okay? So these keywords deserve actually more attention from you this year. And so that's important. You want to refresh your old content that once went viral. So unless your site is BuzzFeed, you probably have just a couple of pieces that already have spread in terms of shares and links. So this could be old tool lists, old trends, old statistics, old infographics. So here's one great thing about this content. It has backlinks, and you can benefit from that link equity by refreshing and possibly re-optimizing this page. Actually, that's important. And also, so when you are looking for content to refresh, check your most linked to pages. And this is important. All you need to do is drop in your domain or that of your competitors and just sort for links. Just use the right tool though. So let me give you steps to take for refreshing content this year. First, you want to research newer content on the topic. So that's the most important step. You need to know what has been recently published on your topic, including pages that are now outranking you for your main keyword, related research, interviews, videos, and podcasts on the topic. This may also be something you reference in your refresh content. So simply searching for your query in Google is a solid first step. Start by clicking, for instance, top results and note what makes those resources worthy of higher rankings than yours. Okay, rankings than yours. So depending on your keyword, spend some time playing with multiple filters and features of the tool. So for instance, you want to play with the range filter to discover more recent content. You can also look at the original published dates. Look for top headlines containing recent dates, but with older published dates, and click through to analyze their refresh strategy. And you also want to sort results by evergreen score to find and analyze content that seems to consistently attract shares and links. Is there anything you can do to make your own content more evergreen? Think about that. By the way, what I'm telling you, you can use any SEO tool to get the results. You want to actually filter by content type. This will help you a lot. And you can set the tool to search only for videos, infographics, podcast reviews to get ideas from the most popular content types to work into your own content. And you also want to search by publication size. So if you happen to be, let's say you are a smaller brand and need to cut through the noise of big publications, filter them out and hone in on more relevant competitors to inform your refresh strategy. You can also use Google's date search through the analysis for more recent content by using the Google's date search also in terms of availability. Number two, you want to identify keywords losing traffic. Okay, so if you're tracking your rankings, you already know the keywords that have started dropping in Google SERPs. Next, you want to steal your competitors' ideas. Yes, stealing may be a harsh word, but that's what competitive intelligence is for. So basically, everybody learns from each other, pushing everyone to try harder and become better, right? So take a close look at your higher ranking competitors and see what you can learn from their content. And so if you have the right tool, BuzzSumo, Ahrefs, or KW Finder, or SEMrush, you can have a URL analysis tool to get a detailed overview of any individual piece of content, including publication dates, for instance, details about the author. That's what you want to. You want to see the author, and you want to have top shares of the article, evergreen scores, for instance, okay, and also pages linking to that content, etc. It's all about getting as intel as possible. So this is actually a great way to come up with your own future marketing strategy by quickly evaluating who and why they actually who helped to promote that article, why they did it, and how your competitors have approached their own content refresh strategy. Okay, that really gives you a lot of insight. So when comparing your old page to overranking competing pages, try this. You can use a side-by-side comparison tool that gives you a quick look at where your competitors are doing a better job. For instance, content length, content structure, keyword usages, etc. Or you can use a tool such as BuzzSumo, Ahrefs, SEMrush, or KW Finder to analyze the content of all your competitors at scale. Next, you want to also expand your keywords. This is an important step that's often skipped. So find keywords you may improve or add on to what add-ons when it comes to your strategy to actually diversify each page rankings, really. Okay. And Google Search Console gives you a solid insight into any page rankings actually this year. So that's really fantastic. Next, you want to refresh links and screenshots. So broken links usually pose a huge challenge to user experience. They don't just drive people away from your site; they also leave those people disappointed. So, but it's not just broken links that need fixing when you refresh your content. It's also outdated links that send your readers to old data. So you've already collected newer resources in step one of that I just told you a little earlier. Now add this to your content and remove your old links. It's a great idea to run this Chrome extension to ensure all links on the page are now working and not really redirecting. So this is important. And so you want to, but again, you have to do this in a very granular manner, by the way. And finally, make sure to refresh your screenshots and add more images. I mean, these days, content tends to be much more visual than it used to be 10 or even 5 years ago. I mean, a little bit before COVID, by the way. Next, if applicable, you want to cover actually recent trends. That will help you actually a lot in terms of refreshing old content. So if there have been any trends that may have impacted the topic of your old content, then if so, include a new section dedicated to that. COVID, for example, has impacted just about all areas of our lives, including healthcare, working habits, and more, right? So this is often something to use when refreshing actually content, okay? And also, this part has nothing to do with SEO, but it's really essential for content helpfulness and relevance. And you want your content to be helpful, by the way, because people come to your sites. They want to really they want to see value. They want to see the value add. They want to really also see that you are solving their pain points, and their pain points actually are not static over time. Their pain points are dynamic over time. Let me give you some extra information here. So what is refreshing content really? The thing is that in its guide on creating article pages, Google states that you can only republish your old content to a new page only if it has been substantially changed. Okay. So what a substantial change really is, Google will not reveal, but I'm really confident that if you follow the steps that I'll be explaining to you, you will see a pretty substantial uplift. So finding new resources to reference in your piece, researching competitors' content to identify what yours is missing, identifying keywords losing rankings and doing a better job optimizing for them, identifying keywords that have potential to rank and creating new sections to address them. This could be a great possibility. Answering popular niche questions, fixing broken and replacing outdated links, refreshing screenshots and adding new images, more images, covering recent studies and trends. Finally, updating your forms and CTAs to feature your newest lead magnets, products, or offers. And as a bonus, you want to also explore new repackaging and marketing opportunities. Okay, so refreshing content gives it new life and opens it up to new opportunities that did not exist when it was initially published. Okay, this is important. So, for example, these days we have tools to turn text into infographics, tools to easily create video ads, tools to convert content into podcasts, and more, right? So take advantage of that because it's all about making sure that you are repurposing the content into a different format. Plus, the cool thing is that you have so many tools. What you want to do is you want to go through a series of trials and errors. You want to play with as many tools to repackage and repurpose your content and explore more marketing channels, right? It's all about really reaching more audiences, newer audiences, and also constantly with the need of adding value, with the need of solving your audience's pain points. You want to answer their most pressing questions now and in the future. By the way. So, how often should you refresh content really when you think about it? Well, it really depends on the size of your site. It depends also on what your target audience is expecting. It depends on your own vision. It really hinges on what your competitors are doing. Okay, there is no set number here when you think about how often you should refresh content. The frequency and amount of your content updates rely on how much content your site already has, how evergreen your content generally is, right? Because it's one of those things where you gotta really ask yourself: Are you like doing a fat driven content, or are you publishing evergreen content? Also, you also gotta really think about how frequently you add new content to your sites. Okay, so there are a lot of variables here. So, but generally, if you add 4 new articles a month, we actually recommend making at least one of them a content refresh instead of a new piece. Okay. In other words, 1/4 of the content on top of your archive should be thoroughly refreshed content. And you can find more about updating evergreen content in any tool, by the way. Okay, such as BuzzSumo and RF, SEMrush, KW Finder, among others. And so by doing this, by having the right tool, you are able to have, for instance, top examples of evergreen headlines. That's really important. Ways to research competitor content refresh strategies, and also different ways that top publishers of evergreen content refresh actually their content. So that's going to help. It will help you find a clear idea about how to really sort of activate your own strategy. So, in wrapping up into this conversation, I spoke to you about how to refresh old content. So, whether you are using, let's say, a WordPress or alternatives, your old content will gradually get buried behind the new articles you publish. So, to prevent it from losing traffic and ensure a smooth user experience, you need to consistently refresh and resurface your old content. And this way, you will not only keep it relevant, you will also benefit from already acquired data and link equity. So something your new content doesn't yet have, right? So if you approach your content refresh strategy with as much effort and as creating new content, you will soon see amazing results. And that's really important, especially from an SEO perspective. And that's what you want to have anyway, especially in the long run. So here's a quote I hear. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about how to refresh old content. And I give you the facts, the steps, the extra information, and now the quota. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.